Hi. Hi, guys. It's Alisha Rydes here with Angels with Horns. Oh, okay. You didn't hear me then?
No, I was just making it a little bit louder just so everybody can actually hear you.
Okay. So, hi, guys. This is me, Alisha Rydes, here to answer your lovely questions.
And I'd just like to very quickly say thank you to all the guys. We've had loads of questions on Twitter, and we've had a load of questions on our wall, Alisha. So I think we're going to have some fun this evening, just trying to get to all the questions we've been asked.
Yes, well, thank you, all the guys. I'm glad that you participated.
Okay, well, I think we better start, otherwise we're going to miss out on all the questions. Okay, obviously know a little bit about you. I think one of the things that amazed me when we started talking, first of all, was that actually you're an accountant by profession.
I am.
Now, they're supposed to be really staid and boring, which obviously is something that you're not. How did you actually get into the adult industry?
Well, I was living abroad, and then I came back to the UK and got a job in the lovely town that I live in, which is so exciting, in accountancy. And then I thought, after like 2 weeks of the new month, I was there like, bloody hell, I'm broke. So I spoke to somebody and asked if they had any part-time, if they knew of any part-time work. And they said, why don't you become a glamour model? And I was there like, yeah. So, no, he said, you'll make loads of money, you've got big tits, got a pretty face, so you'll smash it. So next day, or as you do, I set up a modelling portfolio. And then I got loads of shoots.
As simple as that, you never look back.
No, that was 3 years ago.
Okay, well, James Dan asked on Twitter, do you enjoy your job, and if so, why?
Yes, I absolutely love my job, James. It's great fun, and obviously keeps you trim because you have lots of sex, which I love. And no, so yes, I love it.
Newit asked, would you ever consider going back to a normal job?
Of course. I know, obviously, I'm going to be going back to a normal job eventually, when I'm older. Although I am old, but older.
Okay. And what job would that be if you were to go back into a normal state job?
Well, I wouldn't want to go back into accountancy, but I would quite like to open a pet sanctuary or look after dogs and cats, or maybe even a kennels. Yeah, well, they're nicer than people, though.
Because obviously, I mean, the guys on Twitter know that you've got 2 dogs, Sooty and Otis.
Yes, that's right. My little babies, who I love and adore, and I share with you all, because you love them too.
Beijing Cop King, who should be watching the football, as I would like to be as well, but I'm obviously talking to you, okay. Wants to know, will you ever do any more work for Kilogram, because he loved your scenes for them?
Well, I hope so. I love doing them for Kilogram. Dog emissions was excellent fun, and I'm glad that you enjoyed them. Did you like the bit where I passed out wet wipes before I sucked their cocks? Which I thought was hilarious.
You're always very polite.
I am, always.
So, I mean, from my perspective, obviously you've been in the industry 3 years now. I mean, Angels with Horns has been going for a few months, although before that we were in with different guises. From your perspective, how has the industry changed over the last 3 years?
Well, I think it's gone slower. I don't think there's very much work about. I think too much regulations and too many companies are going down and under, so it's a bit of a struggle, I think. Well, yeah, I'm still doing shoots and things like that, but I just think it's not as busy as it was 3 years ago.
And why do you think that?
I just think that the companies, big companies, have now ceased. Well, some of them have ceased, and they created lots of work for everybody. And so I think now it's just people struggle. I think producers struggle with all of the red tape that is being brought into the UK, and also we're being saturated by new girls, new models. Not criticising them at all, because everybody should try it once. But yeah, it has changed, and it is changing daily. So you've got to be versatile and branch out to do other things, like I do.
So going back over your career, we've talked about Kilogram briefly. What was the first scene you ever filmed in as an adult model?
The first scene I filmed was for TVX.
Yeah.
And Andy Ide directed it, and Peter O'Toole was the stunt. And I was in a casting scene where I had to pretend that I was going to casting an audition for being a clothes model. And eventually it wasn't no clothes, and I was just like squirting and gushing everywhere.
Not good. So was that the most memorable scene you've ever shot, or is there another one that really springs to mind?
Well, I've done loads of work for Pascal Subsluts, because I am quite submissive, if you hadn't have gathered from Twitter, and I really enjoyed it. Also Busty Britain is great. I've done a couple of scenes for them, and had great fun. So there you go.
Okay, well, Sean Fagan on our YouTube channel asked you, who would you most like to do a scene with?
Who would I most like to do a scene with? Well, obviously, I've worked with Pascal, and when you work with a stud, you obviously build up a rapport. So obviously with Pascal, he can read me, so he knows exactly what I like and things. So I suppose Pascal, because I've done so many with him.
Okay, but across the board, anyone, even back to some of the greats like Ron Jeremy, anybody like that, is there anybody you've watched, you've seen, and thought I'd really like to work with them?
That's a difficult one. Off the top of my head, I can't think who. Maybe a nice black guy. Seems I haven't done very many interracial ones, but no, I don't know. Sorry.
No, it's absolutely fine. I mean, ultimately, it's what you think yourself.
Well, I suppose it's because I'm, although I'm in porn, I don't really know much. I am quite private, so I keep myself to myself. Really. So I don't really know very many people do in the porn industry.
Okay, well, let's sort of touch on your private life a little bit then. Question from Neil Curran on Twitter. Do you have time to have a real relationship outside of porn? If so, how does he cope with the jealousy?
I would always have time for a real relationship. And the guy that I chose to be in my life would understand, because he would like that kind of thing. And would enjoy sharing. If you know what I mean. Well, no, not like that. It's, you know what I mean. It's just,
Come on, explain.
No, it would be, he wouldn't be jealous, because I would choose somebody that wasn't the jealous type, because I couldn't cope with jealousy. Because guys tend to forget that it's a job, and you're going to do a job, and although you might enjoy it, doesn't mean it's going to be a personal thing. and that you're, going to have an affair because it's a scene you're doing. So, yeah. So the answer to the question is, I would choose somebody that wasn't the jealous type, and we would have fun together.
So over the last 3 years then, you've been in the industry, have you had a regular relationship?
Over the last 3 years?
Yeah, since you've been in the industry.
No. Well, sort of. Well, yes, in a way. I'm very vague, aren't I? This is my private life. But yeah, no. Yes, I have. And, see, I'm not telling you anything, am I?
Absolutely not. Okay, well, let's explore a little bit more about your private life. That obviously some of the guys won't know. Tell us when you lost your virginity. How old were you?
Okay, I was a naughty girl. It was on my 16th birthday, actually. And I actually got caught.
You got caught? Who did you get caught by?
My mum and dad. Which was not a good experience because my mum went ballistic and made me get in the bath, and she was trying to scrub my skin off me. Although the guy, I'd been seeing him for a year, so it wasn't like I was, oh my God, I'm 16 now, so I'm going to bonk somebody. It was, I was in a relationship with him, so, but yes, it was a bit traumatic, to say the least.
But then you had, shall we say, interesting parents, because I mean, when you and I were discussing this interview, you were telling me one thing that actually shocked me about what your mum and dad actually suggested as maybe a career option for you.
Okay, well, obviously, because I've got quite big boobs, I've had them since I was about 11. So when I was about 15, Mum and Dad both said, we think you should be a page 3 girl. And I was there like, really? Is that really appropriate to talk to your daughter about? And obviously later, when I was about 20, and stunning, by the way, I went, obviously I was in Hong Kong, and my dad took me to the red light area of Hong Kong.
Your dad took you?
Yes, and we went to a topless bar, and he offered me to the owner to work there.
How did that make you feel?
Well, I was a bit drunk, but I was a little bit like, my God, don't do that, Dad. But no, I didn't do it, by the way, guys. I'm not that naughty.
Pardon?
Well, I wasn't that naughty when I was in my 20s. Well, 20 odd.
Really? Because somebody was telling me about a journey that she had with an ex-boyfriend at the Lake District. Do you want to expand on that?
No, not really.
Do you want to expand on that, considering your mum won't be watching?
Well, hopefully not. Well, actually, I was with my the guy that I was. Well, see, this is the story. I was engaged to a Scottish man when I was about 18, 19, and we moved to Australia. And anyway, we broke up. So long story, we broke up. I came back to the UK, and he followed me because he wanted me back. Aww. And then he stayed in England for a month, but stayed with my mum and I in my mum's house up north. And Mum suggested we go to the Lake District, and she had one of these van things, you know, with the 2 seats at the front, but then blacked out all the way, like a little mini van. But so I was in the back with him, and we had sex.
In the van.
In the van while my mum and my aunt were sat in the front seat. So yes, I suppose I am naughty, really.
Yeah, I think that would class as being naughty. Obviously, one of the things that I read when I was doing my research on using the Daily Star about being caught riding by horseback riders as well. So, caught by horseback riders in the back of a van. Where else have you actually been, shall we say, intimate with people in your life?
In a bar.
In a bar. Okay,
I took my ex. It was his birthday, and I took him. All these exes. It sounds like I'm really, crap at relationships. I'm not really, but anyway. So I took him out for his birthday, and we were staying in this hotel, but we went down for dinner. Obviously, I wasn't wearing any knickers because you don't do that because you've got to, tease while you're having dinner. And then we went into the bar in the hotel, and I gave him a blowjob.
In the bar.
In the bar. Yes, it was very nice.
Whereabouts in the bar? I'm just trying to imagine in my own head how this one works.
Okay, well, we were sat in like these little what do they call it when they're in that alcove bit?
Yeah.
Obviously, and then I just like leaned over and then gave him a blowjob. He loved it. So there you go.
So a bar as well.
And a bar. Mm-hmm. Anywhere else? Yes, in the play.
In the play.
Yes. No, I quite like outdoor, open air, in exciting places. In a nightclub I have as well. So, yeah. So I'm quite free, really. So there you go.
Tell me about some of your closest friends. Do they know you're in the industry? What do they think about you being Alisha Rydes?
My best friend obviously knows that I do modelling, but I admitted to tell her that I do porn.
You admitted to tell her?
Yes,
Okay.
only because obviously doing porn is quite severe, really.
Yeah.
And I didn't want her to make a judgment on me, although she does know me very well and is really my partner in crime. But I just haven't told her. But she knew that I was on TV and everything like that, but not that I'm actually. Okay. Sorry, I'm just going to have a drink.
Well, let's talk a little bit more then about, you just mentioned there, live TV. I mean, do you want to just, for the people who are watching, and I know we've got over 12 people watching.
Jiggle them.
We're on YouTube, so we've got to be as clean as we can. Tell me a little bit about who you've worked with, which TV stations you've worked on.
I worked on Babestation 31. That was my first, which I loved. And then from there I went to Bluebird, which I loved even more. And then I went on to Golden Girls, and then I went from just showing boobies and bum to Chat Girl TVX, where I was playing. If any of you missed it, aww.
So obviously we know that both you and I, having been on Twitter for a while, we know some of the, shall we say, interesting questions that we get asked. What was the most interesting call you received on any of the channels that you've been on?
I don't know if it was interesting. It was a little bit like, oh my God, even I was shocked. This guy called up and of course I answered the phone and did my, hello, you're through to Alisha Rydes. And then he was going, and I was there like, what are you doing? Obviously the posh voice had suddenly changed to, what are you doing? And then he was there like, and eating my shit. So I was there like, I beg your pardon. So then I then proceeded to tell him off and say it was not very good to eat your own feces and to stop doing it. But he rang me all night, and then he wanted me to shit or poo even onto his chest so he could eat my poo. It wasn't very nice. Obviously I didn't do it, but that was quite shocking, really. Even I was shocked, and I was there like, oh, anything to do with poo, I don't like. It's a private thing. You need to do it on your own with no one around.
So tell me a little bit more about working on live TV. Was it good fun? How was it with the girls?
I loved it. It was the best time, really, because although I was doing porn, I was also doing TV work, and TV work is hilarious, and I really enjoyed talking to all the lovely people that called me, because it was a laugh. Like major, like a proper. It was like going out for a night out, and just talking to really interesting people. Of course, I always make people laugh. So once you start making them laugh, then it's like they let the guard down and they just start talking to you. So I found out lots of things about lots of people, and it was really good.
Did you find it nerve-wracking or?
No. No. I'm quite like, obviously you must realise that I'm quite professional and all of that in everything that I do, but I never got nervous on any of the TV channels. I just used to be like, oh my God, I'm going on, yay! So then, yes, so it was good.
And did you have a sort of drink to calm your nerves before you went on?
On Babestation, I used to have a drink with the girls before we went on, but just like one or two, because obviously I would get the train home. But when I was on Bluebird and Golden Girls, I was driving, so I wouldn't drink.
So the bad girl was good at once in a while.
Honey, of course. I'm not bad all the time, just most of the time.
So a question from real James Bond then, who asked, how the hell can you work with a phone with those nails?
Actually, I've had them cut. They're not as long. But actually, I can't type now because they're too short. But no, it's easy. And I don't use my nails on the keyboard thing. I use my fingers.
On the keyboard thing?
No, like on the telephone thing. What is it called? I'm not big.
Okay. Another interesting question from Paddy, who asked, what's the smallest cock you've ever had and what is the biggest?
Well, now Paddy, I know the size of yours, so I'll answer this one. The smallest was about this big, and I just had to rub it because it was too small to do anything with. And the biggest was about this big. That's quite big. Yeah, it was about that big. Well, I don't know what that is in inches, about 10 inches, I suppose.
So I guess as all as men would like to ask the question honestly, does size matter?
To me, it doesn't. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but it doesn't. Because it's how you feel about the person, not whether they've got a massive cock or a little cock. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, please explain.
Okay, well, if you get involved with somebody, you're not looking at the size of their cock, are you? You're just looking at them as the person that they are. Do you know what I mean? So no, I don't think it does matter. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it doesn't. And girls will be going, that's loads of rubbish. It does matter. No, because if they've got a good tongue and good fingers, then it doesn't matter, does it? If they're tiny. But yeah, no, you know what I mean.
I'm learning very quickly. Question on Twitter from Bob says, do you enjoy having your feet played with? If so, how?
I do actually. I like my feet being stroked. And I like them being tickled as well. Although I do go a bit like pee myself and things like that, but yeah, no, a nice massage is lovely.
So is that the secret to getting to know Alisha Rydes better? Stroke the feet.
No, I think I'm quite an open book.
Mm-hmm.
I think that even my fans on Twitter actually know me as me rather than this. You know, I don't say to myself, "Oh my God, I've done porn and I'm famous." No, I'm just me. So,
do you think that's what other people think?
What?
I've done porn, I'm famous, so I'm not going to interact with my fans.
No, everybody's got their own way of doing it. I've been brought up with that if somebody goes out of their way to give you a compliment, then to thank them for it because it's a nice thing to do and they've taken the effort to do it. So other people might not think that it's important, but I think without your fans, then you wouldn't get very far. So, in a roundabout way, yes.
So let's explore that a little bit more because, I mean, ourselves from Angels with Horns, we've been very impressed by the way that you communicate with your fans and you spend a lot of time with your fans. Because we spend a lot of time, as you would expect, on our sites, on Twitter, etc., consistently seeing Alisha Rydes coming across the screen. Tell us a little bit about your ethos towards your fans.
Well, my fans are very important to me. I think that I know most of my fans. I mean, I do have conversations with my fans, and they know me as, you know, the real me. You know, like I think it's important. I think that well, it is important for me, and that's why I've got 47,000 tweets. Oh my God! And other girls have only got 300.
Not that you're counting.
No, it's just the way I am. I like to interact, and also I think that my fans actually think, well, not think, but obviously know that I'm genuine and a nice person. Hopefully, hopefully you do, guys.
So one of the things that we're intrigued by is that you've actually locked your profile and people have to sign up. Actually, you have to personally vet them and accept them. Do you want to explain a little bit about what happened and why that is?
Well, obviously on Twitter there are a lot of trolls who decided to take it upon themselves to troll me for about 2 weeks and then get all their followers to abuse me and everything. But also I do have a few stalkers who follow and well, just make funny comments and things like that. So so I thought, no, I'm going to protect them for a while, but obviously I need to unprotect them because my publicity is going down.
Yeah, because you've gone from 20,000 followers down to about 7, haven't you?
No, because I closed my account, my original one.
Yeah.
Because I was being stalked. And I was stalked for 10 months until the police got involved. And then they went to visit him, and his wife was not very happy. And he was warned. So so then I went away, and I went because the police recommended that I come off Twitter because I was feeding his. Because obviously Twitter don't do anything, and you block somebody, but they can still see everything that you're writing and where you're going, and all of that. So really, the block button isn't really any good, really. Like, you know, you should be, if they're blocked, they should be not be able to see anything of yours. But that's Twitter. I can't change Twitter. But yeah, no. So I left, and I left for probably 4, 5, 6 months, something like that. And then when the police had been, after, you know, like after the 10 months, then I started up again.
And when you started up again, what did the guys say?
Oh no, I've got some really loyal fans, and straight away they were like, "Oh my God, you're back!" No, so loads of people are happy that I'm back. It does sometimes, as you might be aware, people who are following me on Twitter, it does sometimes get to me a little bit, but I try my hardest.
What do you mean by it sometimes gets to you again?
Sometimes I think that some people don't actually get that you know, they're tweeting you, that they might have only 40 followers, and they're openly tweeting really sexual things or really personal things, and want you to reply. And then I have a battle with myself, because obviously it goes back to being polite, and then I'm there like, oh, I shouldn't really answer that. But I then get annoyed, and then I answer it, and then it's like, oh no, that's even worse. So yeah.
And do they keep on going when you reply to them?
Yeah, some. Some do.
So how do you deal with the really annoying people?
Well, actually, I'm getting quite hard now. Well, trying to be. I do block people now, and I never used to do that.
Well, being as polite as you are, how do you feel when you block
them? It depends on who they are, but sometimes I feel very sad, because I think, why did it have to come to that? But other times I think, oh God, you're just a bit of a nut. So you're blocked. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't understand why sometimes I get attacked on Twitter. I don't get it. And I do get it in a roundabout way, because I think that it's to do with what I do and showing my tits and arse and things on Twitter. People start following you because they see this lovely Abby of me beaming, and then they see the pictures and they're like, oh my God, she's a slag. No, they don't.
So Thomas Pete on Twitter asked specifically, how do you stay patient with a pain in the bum like Thomas himself when he sends you so many tweets?
Thomas, you know that sometimes I get annoyed, and then I'll be there like a little bit cutting, but no, Thomas is lovely, and thank you. Thomas bought me this dress, actually. Thank you, Thomas. But no, you're not a pain in the arse. It's just that, like, sometimes you just like go on about the same thing, babe. And then I'm there like, okay, thanks. But you know, I mean, nobody's a pain in the arse. All my followers are lovely. Most of them are, anyway.
Because you've just got a Facebook appreciation group now as well, haven't you?
Yes, I have. That's done by Mr. Spreadbury, which I still haven't really looked at, I'm afraid to say. I'm sorry to say.
So how do you feel when obviously your fans take so much time to actually do these things for you?
Well, obviously, I'm very flattered that they're taking the time to do it. I do like to be asked, though, because sometimes I don't want to be wherever, you know. But no, it's very flattering, and I think, oh, how sweet. And I do that. Most of my tweets are, oh, that's so lovely.
Well, it's interesting you were mentioning about the dress that obviously Thomas kindly bought you. You've got a wish list as well that people buy things for you from as well. How does that make you feel?
I only put it up when I get asked. I don't ever tweet or buy me something from my wish list. Usually on my birthday or Christmas time, my fans will ask me if they can buy me something. So then I will update my wish list, and then they can buy something. but you know, like it's you know, I buy my own things, but obviously, if a guy's gone out of his way to buy me something, I am very appreciative of it, and it's very kind of them. So thank you. I've had some amazing presents from people.
What sort of things have you received?
An iPad. Oh my God! An iPad Mini, a Kindle, loads of outfits and dresses and lingerie, obviously, which I then model and tweet pictures. But yeah, no, I've been very, very lucky. And I'm very, very happy that you lovely people are doing it for me. Okay?
Absolutely. So obviously that's the nice side of things. So people asking you what you would like. What are some of the other requests that you've had from fans that aren't quite so nice as an iPad?
Oh, you mean like
requests that people have asked you for? Thinking particularly of a bucket.
Oh God. Well, yes. Well, some guys just go a little bit over the top with regards to what they would like to in a sexual way. Obviously, I got asked recently if somebody could deposit a bucket at my house and pick it up daily with my feces in it, and then he would pay me by the weight of my poo. Which I sadly said, no, thank you.
Oh, his roses must have needed tending.
I don't know. It's beyond. I can't even think about why he would want that. But it's yes, no. I do have odd things like, can I come in a glass and you drink it? No.
What else did you have?
What else have I had? Thinking. There would be lots of things. I mean, some people just go over the top, and it's like beyond. Oh, I got one coming down to London. Oh my God! It was supposedly from some doctor who wanted me to go bareback, which I don't do. So I said I sadly declined, as you do, and then he kept messaging saying, "No, that's why I chose you, because you're careful." And I was like, no, I don't do that. So yeah, no, I get it daily actually. So there you go.
Enough to make your hair come.
Well, yeah, it does curl sometimes.
Okay, going back to more of sort of the personal side again. Sean Fagan asked, if you stranded on a desert island, what 3 things would you like to have there with you?
Well, obviously, a yummy man. That would be nice. Maybe City and Otis would be there too. And a little bit of luxury, maybe some nice food and drink. As if you were on holiday. And then you would you just wouldn't want to come home, would you, if you're on a desert island? So there you go.
Okay. And keeping the desert island theme, again, a question again from Sean. Where would your ideal holiday be, and who would you like to take with you?
Well, I've always wanted to go to the Maldives, and I haven't been, and I still want to go. And who would I want to take? Well, just, I don't know, maybe you, Sean. I do know you, Sean, so, you know, yeah, why don't we go?
No, there's an offer. People can't resist. Now, I've just tweeted out, so people who are watching this live know, asking if there's any more questions. But I've got one more question for you, which is, tell me one interesting thing about you that your fans wouldn't know.
Well, when I was much younger, like 11, and I was living in Hong Kong, I was asked to represent Hong Kong in the Olympics, which I thought was a very good achievement. But obviously I declined because I was there, like, not very confident, and thought, you know, these big Russian Amazon women would just, well, I would just be left behind. And I was very tiny at 11. So although it wasn't when I was 11, it was going to be like 3 or 4 years later, but I wasn't feeling, you know, that confident. So I declined, but it was an achievement to be asked, I think.
Okay, I'm just going down our YouTube channel, and there's one other question that sort of comes through from Sawanki.
Sawanki?
Sawanki.
Hello, Sawanki.
And he's asked, are you planning to return to any babe shows? I had fun talking to you.
Oh, did you send me a letter, Sawanki? I would love to go back on to a Babe channel. There aren't very many that cater for MILFs or older ladies. So unless some new channel opens up, it won't be imminent, but hopefully. I never say never, or never say no even. So maybe. And thank you for calling me when I was on there, so thank you.
Had another question from people who said they're on your pending list on Twitter.
I know, sorry, I'm a bit, right, okay. Because I've been traveling about a lot, on my iPhone and my iPad, when I go into the follower request thing, it doesn't work. And it doesn't bring up my thing. So then I have to wait till I get home, and then I go on my computer and accept people. So sorry if you've been waiting, but I will accept you. In fact, maybe sometime I'll unprotect my tweets and then people can just follow me. So, you know.
Okay, good friend of both of ours, DJ Monkey, has asked a question. What's your favourite brand of vodka?
Oh my God, you already know. Grey Goose. So, bye. I'm joking, but no, yes, Grey Goose is yum.
Okay, just to let you know, just a couple of comments that have also come through on the channel. Sean Fagan said it's good to see you again. A couple of the other ones are saying hello and that they love your laugh.
Oh, thanks, guys. Yeah, no. I think, oh, well, I can't answer that but thank you very much. I'm glad you do. It's quite deep, though, isn't it?
What's quite deep?
My laugh. It's like, oh.
Okay, haven't had any more questions come through, so couple of minutes. What would you like to say to the guys who are watching, and girls, because I know there's some girls watching too?
So, everybody, thank you for tuning in to this interview, and all my followers, I love you, and keep following me, and don't forget to, you know, like, keep chatting, you know, because a couple of days I haven't been on doesn't mean I don't love you. I do. But no, I've had a great 3 years, and hopefully it will continue for a little bit longer, and then you'll see a lot more of me.
Okay, I'd like to thank you very, very much from Angels with Horns, from myself and Steve, that we do appreciate you having taken the time out of your very busy schedule to talk to us today. You have been our very first YouTube live interview, and we've loved every minute of it with you. We look forward to seeing you again, because obviously you're back on the 23rd with your party.
23rd, guys.
And that'll be your third party with Angels with Horns.
And it's been memorable and lovely.
So we're looking forward to that, and we're looking forward to the guys enjoying that. So the people who have watched this, please, please, please leave us comments what you think, what's worked, what hasn't worked. We appreciate that this is the first one. There's always going to be teething problems. We're going to upgrade the mics and everything else, but this will be the first of what we hope many, and we would love to see you back again very, very soon, Alisha, as well as obviously coming to the party. We're coming back and doing another interview with us again.
Well, thank you for having me, babe. And of course, I'll be back anytime you want. So, guys, see you soon, and thank you for tuning in. Mwah.